Back-to-back shutouts for the first time this season. The Kings round out the weekend against the Cowichan Valley Capitals with a 7-0 victory. Kyle Betts joins us up here in our post-game show. Kyle, I was talking just before you came up here on air. I owe you an apology. You didn't make the 3 stars tonight because you should have scored 30 seconds earlier because that's when we submitted them. You missed out. The shorthanded rush probably would have put you on. So I want to apologize about that. Let's talk about the start because you get a real lucky one. I mean, it was taken advantage of, and it was a great rush down the ice by Tristan Mullen, Mitchell Haas, and Chris Protopoulos getting in on that one. But you get that lucky bounce to start. How big was that for momentum to start a hockey game like this?
Obviously, anytime you can come out in the first period and score an early goal, it's great for the team, and we get our feet going. And yeah, it's big for us to get some momentum going. Particularly
after last night, you knew Cowichan to be pretty frustrated. How did the two games, I guess, compare and contrast from last night and the way that it ended, the 4-0 shutout? Did you feel a little bit of an extra push today from Cowichan?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is just our speed. Like, if you watched us today, everyone was going, and when you have 4 lines rolling like that, it makes it tough for any team to play against us. I think Cowichan, they worked hard both nights, but we were really fired up for this weekend.
Johnny Evans makes it 2-0, and he and Carter Turnbull have got to be fun to watch out there on the bench. And I know you kind of mix in there every once in a while, special teams, but to get a chance to watch them at ice level, that's been pretty special over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think Johnny's really turning it on. Like, ever since we got back from Christmas, he's been phenomenal. And Turnbull, he's got that scoring touch, and yeah, they work really well together, and it's really fun to see them play together.
Talk us through your 17th of the season coming back in the first period.
Yeah.
Your first one there.
Yeah, it was just a good trip there by Proto, I think it was. It's coming down. I think it was kind of a partially little 2-on-1. I just tried to put it on net, and yeah, it squeaked through him just barely.
You're up 4-0 through 20 minutes worth of play. I don't want to bring up bad memories, but West Kelowna last Saturday night, was that any talk in the room about overconfidence or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. That was obviously our first priority when we got into the room, was to make sure we kept it in check and came out, and we had to keep going. Obviously, we couldn't let the 4-0 lead slip away. So
you get the one, not necessarily right off the bat, but midway through, and then you kind of begin to come away from it a little bit. Managing emotions, I imagine, is that next kind of boiling point. And we saw a couple of hits. We saw Johnny Evans go into the boards. We saw a couple of checks behind the play. We saw Smitty get chopped up there by Kate Keogh. I just wanted to talk about managing emotions and making sure that things don't boil over and things don't get out of hand.
Yeah, obviously it's tough. Like, when you go down 5-0 like that, obviously they're out to do some damage, and you just got to keep playing the right way, obviously keep your head up, and it's tough, but it's part of the game.
This type of message that you can send, and I mean, the Kings still obviously very much trying to catch Nanaimo, but Cowichan mathematically a likely first-round opponent, unless the Clippers falter a couple of times down the stretch. Was there any talk coming into the weekend about that far ahead, or was the focus here just this weekend?
It's obviously in your mind. Like, you want to come in, and this is our last 2 games against them. We want to make sure that if this is our first-round matchup, we want to, leave a message that this is how it's going to be for a full series if we play you guys, and I think we did a pretty good job that way.
You got 8 games in the books against them. They win 4 at home. You guys win 4 here at home, both by pretty lopsided scores. I think they outscored you 21-9 in Cowichan. You get them here by 7, so it'd be 20-2 through the 4 games here. What's been the biggest difference? Because I haven't seen that big of a split in a season series in my time here in Powell River.
They haven't seen our best game in their barn yet. We've really come together as a team recently, and I think if we were to play those games later in the season with the team we have now and the kind of team we're playing as, so I think it'd be a bit of a different story.
Wasn't really asked to be spectacular until late in the third period. Made a real nice stop with about 4 or 5 minutes remaining off the right pad. But how good was Smitty this weekend, and the confidence that he exudes for the rest of the team?
Yeah, he's fantastic. When you have a goal like that behind you, you can trust him, and he's easy to play in front of, and makes the whole team better.
Let's talk Victoria, because you mentioned in terms of, obviously not having a good game in their barn. I think you can point to the season series against the Grizzlies. Kings haven't been good in Victoria, haven't been great against the Grizzlies here in Powell River. Talk us through the season series so far and expectations for Monday.
We got to play better than we have played against them. We've got a lot to prove still, and they've had our numbers so far, but if we play the way we played this weekend, we should have a good weekend again.
Kyle, congratulations. I'm sorry again about the 3 stars. You gotta get that second one a little bit earlier.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Kyle Betts, we'll call him an honorary 4th star for tonight's game. Joining us here in our post-game show. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alex.
Brock, let's start with that start, and we talked about it with Kyle, but the lucky bounce, you get the bounce, but you cash in on it as well. I mean, we might be having a different conversation if that rush doesn't go according to plan, and Mitchell Haas makes a nice drop pass to Tristan Mullen.
No, for sure. Obviously, we came out. We knew a start was important today, and the guys were ready. They were excited when they got here at 2:30 and went over some video just of how we played the night before and the keys that we need to stress on. So, you mentioned a bounce. I mean, referees, they're only human, right? They're part of the game too. So you get one off a shin pad, and it's fortunate bounce for us. But no, we converted and kept rolling from there.
I wanted to focus on emotion with you because we talked about last night and it not really feeling like an Island Division rivalry. Certainly the first period, Kent Lewis said in the pregame show that it felt very tentative. It felt very cautious. And I said during the broadcast last night, it felt like neither side wanted to make that first mistake and wanted to give up that first goal. Tonight we saw a little bit more intensity, maybe on the point of frustration given the scoreline from Cowichan.
No, for sure. And obviously you got to control your emotions in a game. But I think our guys did a great job all weekend. We kept our feet moving and we were winning puck battles and we were hungry. We were all over the ice and doing the little things right to win games. And, it's tough when you're a player and things aren't going your way and you start, resorting to the punches in the head and trying to mix it up to gain some sort of momentum. Obviously we saw a fight there in the second with Kamer but it's, our guys did a great job of being dialed in and know that, by sticking to our game plan and not buying into the junk after the whistles, we could take advantage of them. And, our power play again wasn't great, but, we're staying disciplined where we're getting those opportunities to go to the power play.
Speaking of the power play, Ryland Ball kind of all over the ice tonight, and I mean that in a good way. He was thrust into the top six in the absence of Curtis McCarrick. Thoughts on him and thoughts on that unit, a unit with some good speed. Ryland Ball brings a little bit of size, and he seemed to meld quite nicely with that dynamic duo of Carter Turnbull and Johnny Evans.
Yeah, no, I mean, I texted him this morning, and just obviously with Curdy, getting banged up last night, it was a day off for him, so I texted him this morning and said, hey, you're probably going to play forward, so be ready, and a lot of ice for you, but you're going to be playing with Johnny and Carter, and his text back was awesome. I'm ready to go. So, he was good. Obviously, he sees the ice well, good hands. He's got a heavy shot and can move. So, fit up there pretty seamlessly with those guys, and created some space for them as well.
You look at the scoring: Tristan Mullen, Kyle Betts, Liam Lawson, play on a line, all scored. Carter Turnbull, Johnny Evans, both scored. Chris Protopoulos, 3 assists. Gavin Rousser got a helper. Austin Kamer was engaged. Mitchell Haas was engaged. Hunter Finlater was engaged. Not really a weak point up front tonight in terms of scoring. Everybody chipping in.
No, exactly. And even when, losing Kamer, kind of just talking with Kent, I said, why don't we give Jack a shot up front? And, even Jack Long pitched in up front and had a couple good shifts and physical on the boards and good puck protection down low. So, I mean, you can just tell the guys want to do it for each other. For Smitty as well, obviously making his weekend pretty easy. I think he had to make one big save today
in the third period.
And you could just tell that they're gelling together. They like winning with each other, and they're gearing up for a good playoff run. So. They knew this weekend was huge with second place essentially on the line and to widen that gap from Cowichan. So it didn't matter who played where. They knew what they had to do, and they did a great job at keeping their feet moving and winning battles and taking pride, and especially here on home ice and how key this homestand's been for us.
You mentioned widening the gap. I mean, it's far from mathematical. The Kings have not clinched second spot in the division. They're yet to clinch a playoff spot. We'll keep an eye on the Penticton-Alberni game. That will dictate whether the Kings do it tonight or not. But the 2 wins here tonight, certainly my feeling watching the games is they don't mean a whole lot unless you can carry on against Victoria on Monday. Again, a situation where the Kings haven't played their best hockey. And Kyle said it before you. It was like they haven't seen our best in the building, and Victoria's even had the Kings number here.
No, exactly. And I think, anytime you play a team that you've had a playoff rivalry with over the past, it's going to be amped up. So, coming off 2 great games, hopefully we're ready, and Monday's a new day. So, obviously, a little time off the ice tomorrow with Super Bowl and no games, but no.
Hopefully, not too many nachos.
Yeah, no, there won't be anything like that with a big game on Monday. So, they'll be ready. I mean, we've already touched on it about what the game plan is, and it's every game from here on out is huge. I mean, you look after past Victoria, we have 2 interior teams coming in an interior team and a mainland team, both are hovering right around the top of their division, and then we're in Nanaimo, and then we're back down to Victoria and Alberni. So. It's a tough stretch, but these games are huge. Points are so valuable, and with all the jockeying in the division about standing wise, it's definitely something we keep an eye on night to night, and just prepare day by day to get better, and hopefully we're peaking right by the time March rolls around.
Brock, appreciate you coming up here and doing this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. We'll do it again Monday.